This is a wild main entrance. This reinforcement's like no other. Metal overhead is actually riveted. That's teens, 20s, 30s. So I'd say 20s, 30s vintage. Maybe in World War II, but riveted metal. Is how tall it is. It's not tall at all. My head's almost to the roof. Yep, once editing, I noticed that my microphone was messed up while in the mines, so I'm going to just dub the audio. So it's exactly what the reinforcement was constructed for that you're seeing, which was to guard against that roof. And sure enough, it did come down, and it held, which is remarkable. A testament to old school riveted American steel. And the roof is extremely bad. You can see how this crack is in it, and that's most likely going to open up one day. All right, first intersection here. Left, collapse to the right, which is passable. Left is backfilled, I'm told. Nice collapse. That coal vein is extremely weathered. Looks like granite or something. It's crazy. So here I'm just looking back towards that reinforced portal. And this mine had a weird vibe about it. Just felt off. Didn't feel like a safe mine whatsoever. Bad roof. Sorry for having to dub this audio. But yeah, this was a slurry job, and they mixed calm and sent it through boreholes into this mine. And here it is settling against the gobbing. Just looking back towards the entrance, there's a borehole in the background center. There's a track switch in the foreground. There's a collapsed overhead timber support system that acted as like a roof. So we're going to head to the left here. There's a good pillar on our left. As you can see, the coal is not as oxidized as back there. It's actually presenting itself like anthracite should. Over here is more backfill, like a slurry mix. It's an interesting, strange mine. Very old, you can tell. So I'm in between two offices here. Little office entrance here, office entrance there. And look at that, there's a nice little coal support. That is so neat. They would keep that for structural support, but it just looks interesting in between two little offices. Really like that. You can see how misty it is because it's absolutely freezing today. And essentially the air in the mine and outside are waging a war. So it's one big fog cloud and very humid. Very uncomfortable down here. It's nice and warm compared to outside, but very uncomfortable. Anthracite. Most likely an air door support, that red brick. And anthracite coal with the acid mine drainage. All right, I just walked in this little office, and this is completely astounding because all of the walls are coal. They actually dug out a pillar. Look at that shelf. It's actually dug out in the actual anthracite vein. Look at that one. That's a dug out shelf. 100% solid coal. That one too. They poured some concrete, but the back of it is anthracite coal. Anthracite coal here. This is amazing. I've never seen anything like that. Some acid mine drainage. A little wooden board on the roof. But look at that. The coal vein's a slight oddity too because it has a bony section in the center of it. So it's the same coal vein, but it's got a shale-like rock. Probably is shale. Look at those shelves. That is so neat. It's like a work of art. They just carved the coal. Amazing. Just a close-up of that coal vein with a bony section in the center of it. Just can't get over that shelving. That's a first. Never saw anything like that. You can see how they backfilled in the gangway. Because that's where a light switch is, and should be about 3 more feet of clearance on the bottom, but it's backfilled with fine coal. This is what happens in a high humidity mine. That is an anthracite coal mine car that is just devastated from humidity. All the wood is gone. There's a pillar of coal separating these two different tunnel passages. That coal car is toast. So there's just a small intact pillar on the left-hand side, and in the very background, past that timber, the roof was completely collapsed. And here's that coal mine car, just close up. So you can see the crack in the roof. It's getting bad. That's all going to lead to that. This is the leftmost passage. It does open up past there, it looks like, but you have to traverse all that collapse. This mine has terrible roof. Terrible. Really nice vein of anthracite. Check out that roof. It's like glass. Silky smooth. A little bit of gobbing. Bottom left. The anthracite vein here is looking better. Rail track that's buried in clay. Nice vein off to both sides of the rail. Look at that stacked gobbing. It's right out of the vein of coal here in this tunnel. And they just gobbed it all up. And there's a little hollow chamber in there. It's something else. It's pretty interesting. Very warm mine. There's a nasty collapse up there. See the remnants of the rail here. That's a really cool intersection up here. I'm gonna walk up to it. Go straight, or you can go left. It's neat. Check out this roof. The acid mine drainage. Look at that roof. Gobbing wall. There's the vein. Really cool stalactites. Acid mine drainage. I can't get over that roof. It's just something else. So smooth. Amazing. Beautiful gobbing, but death is around us. Real bad damp. So I'll just explain what was going on in these clips. We walked into a gobbed out area that just ended, and we were getting wacky readings. We had 2 digital detectors on us. You're currently seeing 19. 19's fine. It's not ideal. Normal atmospheric oxygen is 20.9%. You're seeing 18 in the prior clip. It's not good, but it's not insane. But in this small area, we were, again, on 2 digital detectors showing 17s and even 16 percentile. 16 percentile is not good. You have to get out of that. So that's exactly what we did. You can hear the oxygen meters going off. Oh, God. Take a look at that horrible collapse dead ahead. We had to traverse over that. Very sketchy. But look at the mine rail. You can see where the wheel was cutting into the clay. So on that rightmost piece of mine rail, look to the left of it, you can see where the mine car wheel was slicing through the muck. And here we have beautiful gob wall. Shed my light here. All hand stacked. That acted as a roof support when they removed the coal. Look at that gobbing. Oh, it's beautiful. Not the nicest gobbing, but pretty good, pretty straight. This is a pretty nasty collapse. I'm gonna walk up to it. We're on the other side of it, unfortunately. That's the way we gotta go. Not fun. Can go under it. I don't want to go under it. Can go over it. All options are bad. It's horrible delamination. As bad as it gets. This site never gets old. So this is the other side of that absolutely atrocious collapse. And up here is a support for the overhead trolley wire for the electric mine locomotives. There would be a piece of copper wire, solid, heavy gauge copper wire going through that opening on the bottom. They would make direct connection with the electric locomotive and it would spark and everything. It was crazy. And back in the day, if you were hanging out right here, you'd get electrocuted. But it's long been scrapped, probably from the miners themselves. Another shot of the anthracite where it meets gobbing. And that's a really nice gob wall. Gorgeous gobbing. You can see in this vein how up top there's a clean layer, and then there's a bone center, and then it picks back up on the bottom. Interesting. It's like a shaly in between. You can see the top of the vein, and then it hits that bone layer in the center, and then it picks back up to good coal. All narrow gauge rail spikes. Just rotting away. So I'm going to dub over audio here because it didn't come out well underground. Something was affecting my microphone. So this is just the anthracite coal close-up shot. And over the anthracite coal vein, there's like a sandstone shale. Just looked pretty cool. And looking back at the coal, you can see these neat little geologic formations almost in the actual coal vein itself. And I just thought that was worth noting. This is one of the most depressing looking coal mine cars I've ever seen. Didn't even have wheels. So I'm assuming the miners stripped them off, or maybe an Explorer from way back when. But the wood was completely gone. It was all bent. Just very depressing. This is just a very standard gangway. You have your coal vein on the one side, coal vein on the other side, your roof, and back in the day there would have just been rail tracks here. And this was just used for hauling coal. This was like the main road network in the mine. Another angle of the mine car. You can see the anthracite vein right behind it. So you'll look here, and it looks like a nice little working area, right? You got your coal, got some bone rock in between the vein, bottom of your other part of the vein, and then you got that. That's death. That's a bad collapse. That's how fast it can happen. You could be working, boom. This is the same collapse from the prior clip, just a different angle. You can see the coal vein here on the left. I'm going to look towards the main gangway, and there's another collapse. Yet another collapse, one of many. Nice gobbing on the left side there. Not enough to keep the roof up, though. And this collapse had like a weird strata to it, almost like a rolled shale. So at this point, we were heading back out, and I'm just looking back at the two concrete offices that had the intact coal pillar separating the two offices and also acting as a structural support for the offices themselves, which was pretty rare and interesting. This way is out. You can see all the overhead electrical poles. So you can see the small wire insulator right near the coal vein. See the overhead rock. And here would have been mounts for knob and tube wiring. And they were doing knob and tube insulators right in the actual coal seam. So the coal seam had electrical wires attached to it. It's amazing. I think it may be in an old hospital here. It's a really interesting overhead light. Could be a old foreman station. Fire boss, mine boss, whatever. Electrical switches, pretty cool because it's the old knob and tube wiring. Another light switch. storing stuff. This has seen better days. A little creepy in here. Place that was bustling with so much activity is now forever quiet. No more light down here, no more human interaction, no more laughing, joking. That water looks cool. Look at that. This is so hypnotic. Oh yeah. Whoa. That's awesome. Ooh, scary light. Oh, wow. It's like a backdraft to a fire. This is an oddity. It's a borehole that has the steel casing. It's actually bowing out at the bottom. It's become load bearing and it's coated in ice. I could touch that thing. Load bearing borehole. Really nasty collapse. What an amazing entrance. Wow. You can see the bed roof. That is precisely why they built this like they did. Good old American steel, still holding strong. Probably 60, 70 years post-abandonment. Unbelievable. That quality. You know it's old because it is riveted. I bet you will never see a cooler anthracite coal mine entrance than this baby. This thing is a reinforced behemoth. They should have made a mine law back in the day that required all mine entrances for the first 100 feet or so be built like this, because this is just so safe and awesome. Look at this thing. Looks like it was just placed yesterday. Probably over 100 years ago this was laid and built.